I finally just finished watching the season finale of season 4, Handmaid's Tale. I had a few thoughts. I normally do lives with people, but I kind of also wanted to just give my opinion. So welcome to the Do Good Letters. I'm JC. I talk about history, handmaids, and more. And if you'd like to catch some more of my videos, remember to like and subscribe. That way you always see my awkwardness. And now talking about the season finale of Handmaid's Tale. I think the whole entire season was done really perfectly. It may have been slow, but it was intentional. And I think that's very important because even though it's a fictional show, it shows things that have happened in real life. Perhaps not all at once as the dystopia that is Gilead. You can see these things that have occurred throughout major historic moments in life and also just in everyday life, people's traumas that they experience. The aftermath that occurs after trauma, I think is beautifully shown, and I mean beautifully. Not that the trauma is beautiful, but that the truth is beautiful. And I think it's important to show that things don't go back to normal. I think it's important to show that it's okay to be negative. It's never okay to murder anybody. Let's just get that out there. It's not what I'm saying. But the feelings that come along with being violated, having people lie about you, and I'm not just talking about someone lying about you not coming to a dinner date and you really did or something. I don't know, it's a lame excuse. It's the best I could come up with. But I'm talking how Fred's character, just getting windy around here, gaslit June and saying, yeah, there are things we had to do, kind of alluding to it not being that bad. Maybe that's very similar to how some folks say everyone had slaves and they had good homes. I don't know. Maybe that's how some people could see that. So when you go through a traumatic experience, even like people who come home from war, so to speak, maybe the people who have been there waiting for them are like, oh yeah, exciting, let's just keep it on, you're home now, let's go to Walmart, let's do the things that we were doing before. Like Luke, even though he knew that they could never go watch a baseball game again, was kind of speaking of happier times, like let's just get back into thinking happy thoughts. Well, if you skip the process of dealing with what you experience, dealing with the negative emotions that come along, dealing with the confusion emotions that come along, I think you're kind of always stuck there. This is just, my layman's personal experience or opinion. I have no experience or credentials in the mental health field. This is just speaking from experience. I didn't go to war, but there have been some major things that have happened in my life, as yours, as everyone's. So I've seen people who have gone through similar things than similar things as I have. And it's interesting to see where we are at emotionally, even though we're at the same timeline. It's also always been interesting to me, the people in my life who have not allowed me to experience the negative feelings that go along with stuff. You just want to wish it away, or let's not focus on that. Yeah, but it could be worse. You're right, it could be worse. But right now, it kind of sucks too. And that's okay. I hope that people will realize it's okay to, and no, it's not just okay. It's imperative to experience negative emotions and process them. And you won't always be there. And the way to not always be there is to go through it. No, never go through it, you're always going to be stuck there. Who wants that? Not the person going through it. I don't really care about the other people because it's not about them. So definitely just not the person going through it. So back to Handmaids. I think it shows it all beautifully well. You kind of see how June doesn't really connect with Nicole like she did when June and Nicole were in Gilead. Again, I believe I've said it before. I think June now feels in a physically safe enough space where she can process all of her emotions. And she went through some tough, traumatic stuff. So there's a lot that's going to come out. There's a lot that she has to deal with. And I would imagine it would be difficult to have both feelings of love and devotion while having such raw, horrible, horrific memories come up, emotions come up, to not feel like a good mother, like she says, because she can't let go what Fred did to her. It wouldn't be a good, I don't think those two things parallel, you know? Feeling like you want to play with blocks with your kid while having murderous thoughts of another person in your head. You have to kind of separate those two. And you should seek help, therapeutic help, if you see them, or if you feel them or think them. Just FYI, a little tidbit, if anyone out there doesn't know, a lot of places, like mental health places, will not only see you for thoughts of self-harm, but they'll also see you for thoughts of, like, homicidal thoughts. So if you need help with that too, there are places out there that will help you work through those. And it's not jail. If you don't do anything, you don't act on those and go seek help, jail doesn't have to be an option. Please, God, don't let it be. So, yeah. I'm pretty happy with the season finale. In a fictional world, I'm glad that Fred got the end that he did. In the real world, all of those emotions are still there, just like they are in the fictional world. And I think if we're not allowed to have them and talk about them, I think that's where the acting them out can occur. You probably don't feel comfortable enough sharing those thoughts with people. And then if they try to tell you, hey, don't have those feelings, and you kind of wish you didn't, but they're not going away. You can't make them go away. You've tried everything to make them go away. You've tried to think happy thoughts, try to move on, you try to put yourself in your work or in your life or in your hobbies, and you're having trouble not feeling those feelings. Well, if you don't have a safe place to talk about them, then you're gonna try to probably figure out a solution on your own. And sometimes when we're dealing with super heavy thoughts, feelings, and emotions, dealing with them on our own can be challenging, and maybe we don't come up with the best solution because we're not thinking, you know, with our rational mind. And I think the show depicted that well. Although she did have some homegirls help her, so they probably all needed to go talk to a therapist beforehand. But for dramatic purposes and fictional fun entertainment, and it wasn't fun entertainment, it was disturbing. It was all quite disturbing, I think. But in some ways, no, in a lot of ways, I think important. I think it was very thought-provoking, especially the middle to the end of the whole series, or season 4 finale. Nope, just season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale was very thought-provoking. God, words. Oof, they're so hard. I think it brought up a lot of interesting perspectives on the aftermath of trauma, is what this whole video is about. And I could have just said it in 2 seconds. So I'm sorry for that. And you're welcome, because hopefully I've given you, you know, something to do while you go number 2. And I hope you have a thought-provoking day.